The Illinois State Board of Elections heard arguments today for and against removing former President Donald Trump's name from the ballot. Earlier this month, we told you a group of Illinois voters filed an objection to Trump's petition, but their objection has been met with pushback from his lawyers. State Capitol reporter Theodora Coulivaris has more.
Lawyers representing objectors to former President Trump's name on the ballot argued their case before the Illinois State Board of Elections.
He encouraged and engaged in numerous efforts to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, the certification of the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, which he lost to now President Joe Biden.
The objectors claim a section of the 14th Amendment disqualifies Trump from the ballot. That amendment bars anyone who has taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and who has engaged in insurrection from holding office again.
Usually the objections we get are limited to the aspects of the Illinois Election Code, not the U.S. Constitution, not national policy.
A lawyer for the objectors cites Trump's involvement in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, showing clips from that day. A lawyer representing Trump said he did not engage in insurrection, arguing that there isn't a clear definition of the term.
They're making up a standard that they are trying to discern somewhere within the case law, which has never been explicated in that manner, to fit the facts that they have or that they are trying to assert here.
In the coming days, the State Board of Elections' 8-member board will make a decision whether to sustain or overrule the objection. Still, several states like Colorado and Maine have seen similar challenges to keep Trump off the ballot. But the Supreme Court is now getting involved, hearing a case from Colorado next month. And their decision could impact the challenges states are seeing.
It is possible that that could supersede any decision by our board and, of course, any decision by a state court in Illinois.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Theodora Coulivaris.
State Board of Elections also heard objections to Joe Biden's name on the ballot. 3 objections to his nominating petition have been filed. 2 of them make constitutional arguments for why Biden should be kept off the ballot. The other involves whether the president's statement of candidacy was properly notarized.